Hello, and welcome to the Harvard School of Public Health Exercise Evaluation Training course. This online training is designed for exercise evaluators to learn how to use the exercise evaluation form produced by the use of our online toolkit. These forms assess system performance during emergency preparedness exercises. A separate online training has been designed for exercise planners to learn how to create the exercise evaluation form. The training can be found on the home page of the Exercise Evaluation Toolkit. After you take this course, you'll be able to define exercise performance measurement, describe the role of the evaluator in assessing exercise performance, and use our evaluation form in documenting exercise performance. Because of the infrequency of actual emergencies, exercises that stimulate response activities provide alternative means to test emergency plans, test protocols and procedures, and provide opportunities to assess how different public system components work together during the response to a threat. Emergency preparedness exercises can be used as a proxy for real emergencies to assess how the system will perform in response to a public health threat. The role of the evaluator during an exercise is to observe and record exercise play relative to the exercise objectives. To accomplish this, an exercise evaluator must have an understanding of the general evaluation methodology and be well informed on the exercise objectives and scenario and organizational responsibilities of the participating disciplines. Evaluating exercise play can be challenging even for an experienced evaluator if it's not approached in a structured and systematic way. It's important for evaluators to be familiar with the exercise and the evaluation materials before the start of the exercise play. Before the exercise, an evaluator should review the exercise objectives, the exercise scenario including the master scenario events list, the exercise evaluation form, and any relevant background information such as specific plans and procedures. During the exercise, it's important for evaluators to make exercise players feel at ease so their actions remain as close to reality as possible. One of the greatest challenges for an exercise evaluator is capturing the information that is most relevant for evaluation purposes. During an exercise, an evaluator observes many actions and needs to select the information to record that is important when observing the exercise play. A good strategy is to rely upon the exercise objectives to determine what is most important. It's also important for the evaluator to keep in mind that the goal of the exercise is to measure system-wide performance rather than individuals' performance. Even if the evaluator is observing actions performed by individuals, subsequent inferences or analysis of performance need to be made at the public health or healthcare system level. After the exercise, evaluators should attend the exercise debrief and ensure that key response challenges and successes observed during the exercise are shared and discussed with the larger group. The evaluation form should be completed as soon as possible after the exercise. The feedback from the evaluators is used to generate a detailed after-action report for the public health or healthcare system. Let's take a look at the exercise evaluation form. Here's what the cover page of an evaluation form looks like. The questions on this page are useful in interpreting the performance data after the exercise. There's a line at the top of the form for the name of the agency being evaluated. The evaluator is also expected to provide information on their own experience and training. In the second half of the page, we ask the evaluators to provide their own judgment on the expertise of the participants they're observing. A scale of 1 to 5 is used, where 1 equals little or no expertise and 5 equals excellent expertise. Participants' expertise is evaluated on a number of characteristics, such as senior management's perspective and decision-making, knowledge of the entity's resources and capabilities, specialty expertise within the agency, contacts and interpersonal relationships to others outside the agency, information management, personnel resource management, and non-personnel resource management. Such information will help to establish whether the right players are at the table and help in the interpretation of the evaluation results. In using our exercise evaluation form, the evaluator will use a combination of checklists, rating scales, and narrative comments to capture observations during an exercise. Our evaluation form is divided into sections based on the objectives to be covered during the exercise and the progression of the exercise. The number of sections in the evaluation form depends on how the exercise planner has decided to create the form. There are several tasks grouped under each section. Each of these tasks is measured by a combination of multiple actions. The degree to which the task was accomplished is measured by the number of actions performed within the ones identified for each task, as well as by an assessment of how well the task was performed. In this example, Section 1 has Task 1, Task 2, up to Task Y under Section 1. Task 1 is defined by a number of actions, Action 1, Action 2, up to Action Y. By the use of our evaluation approach, the evaluator will judge the performance of the system observed on Task 1 by the use of a checklist of actions and assess if the actions were accomplished or not, yes or no, and judge how well overall Task 1 was performed using a scale from 1 to 10. Each section of the tool also has open-ended questions that allow the evaluator to add important contextual elements to their assessment, describing root causes of a response failure or recommendations for improvement. Let's take a look at an example of an evaluation form. The section shown here is covering the objective Demonstrate ability to receive and act on initial incident information. Under this section, the first column contains several tasks called response elements. These elements are expected to be carried out by exercise players in order to have satisfied a specific exercise objective. An example of a task here is initial assessment of the significance and impact of the incident. Each task is measured by a combination of multiple observable actions listed in the third column. For example, for the task Initial Assessment of Significance and Impact of the Incident, the actions listed are discussed significance of information and made initial assessment of immediate and potential future impact on the entity you are observing. The evaluator should check yes or no if the action was performed or not. Each task is also measured by a 1 to 10 rating scale found in the fifth column. The evaluator will judge the quality of the performance of that particular task by using a score ranging from 1 to 10, where 1 stands for unsatisfactory performance, 5 for good performance, and 10 for excellent performance. In other words, the evaluator should select a score between 1 to 10 to rate how well the task was performed. The fourth column of the evaluation form is titled Specific Data for Exercise. Prompts are included that can be used by the evaluator to further assess an action. This allows an evaluator to provide data specific to the agency being evaluated, for example, information on who served as the incident commander. Each section of the evaluation form ends with open-ended questions. Here, the evaluator is expected to provide comments on the successes and challenges observed for each section. Furthermore, evaluators can give suggestions for improvement, including their opinion of what could or should have been done. This information is particularly important in the development of the after-action report. A key step in developing the after-action report is root cause analysis. Root cause analysis asks why an outcome happened. This method keeps digging deeper, finding more issues, and finally uncovering the root of the problem. The open-ended section of the evaluation form provides important contextual elements to the evaluation to help describe the root causes of a response failure. There may be immediate causes that are clearly evident. This should be documented by the evaluator. There may also be root causes, also called contributing factors, which may not be as clear or easily identified. Digging deeper during the exercise debrief may help uncover these. Identifying what behaviors, actions, or processes that need to be changed lead to lessons learned and recommendations for preventing similar response challenges in future events. Finally, let's discuss some important challenges often encountered when evaluating a disaster exercise. Evaluators should judge each task and action included in the evaluation form and avoid leaving blank cells. Missing data makes the interpretation of the evaluation difficult. Familiarity with the evaluation tool and exercise objectives prior to the start of the exercise are important steps that will help in avoiding missing data. Evaluators should strive to give an accurate and honest evaluation of the entity being observed. Some evaluators are uncomfortable giving low scores or high scores. In order to overcome this challenge, evaluators should focus on the purposes of evaluation. To know how well prepared health systems are and whether the preparedness of those systems are improving, and to identify specific flaws and limitations in their plans and systems, so that those problems can be identified and addressed before a real emergency occurs.